Raider Nation, what is the deal, man? Once again, it's your guy Panama Fargo back to y'all live with another episode of the Raider Rundown. This right here, the first of two episodes that I'm going to be giving y'all today, man, on this lovely Victory Monday. But right now, we're going to focus on something that I think is a very, very huge concern for the Las Vegas Raiders, and that's Jimmy G and what he is causing for this offense. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the intro started, and let's get the show cranked.
Young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
What is the deal, Raider Nation? Once again, make sure you guys are tapping on the like, on the subscribe button, and please hit on the little notification bell so you get updated whenever I drop episodes like this one right here. But like I was saying, man, today, although we won, we got to go over what is the huge problem that Jimmy Garoppolo is causing this Las Vegas Raiders offense. Now, the Raiders did end up winning 21-17, but if we're looking at a real, microcosm of the game, if we're looking at it through a lens, the Raiders offense still has failed to score over 20 points. Now, I would argue that if Jimmy Garoppolo stayed healthy for the entirety of the four quarters, that he would have had this offense humming just to a little different degree, right? And that the Raiders probably would have gotten over that 20 points if Jimmy Garoppolo was healthy for the entirety of the game. But this is the problem, and this is what I'm saying. This is what the huge concern is for me, for Jimmy Garoppolo, for this offense. And that's the if question. We continue to say if Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy, if Jimmy Garoppolo is that. We've already seen he's going to be missing another week, right? I told y'all yesterday in my live, when you leave a football game in the fashion that Jimmy Garoppolo left the game, okay, you don't play the next week. You're pretty much not going to play the next week. That's just my gut feeling of it. So, and we're already hearing Ian Rappaport this morning already report that Jimmy Garoppolo could miss some significant time with a back injury. We have no idea the severity of the back injury, but he could miss significant time. So what does that mean for the Raiders, and why do I say it's a huge problem? Because you have to understand, when your starting quarterback is in and out of the lineup, it's hard to gain continuity. It's hard to gain any type of rhythm as an offense, okay? And why do I think that? We're already seeing Jimmy Garoppolo struggle to see the field, okay? Now, with more game under his belt, with more, experience playing in the system under his belt, we will see Jimmy Garoppolo get better as we progress the season. I mean, and we'll even take it to the step further of saying, we look at Devontae, just the chemistry between him and Devontae. Although it's not all where it needs to be, okay, still, we're still seeing him trying to get the rhythm with Devontae. He's never going to get that if he's in and out of the lineup, okay? And we're seeing the frustration on Devontae's face. That's even going to grow even more if the Raiders don't stamp down somebody who's going to stay in the starting lineup and continuously take those reps. Now, for example, we'll keep it on Devontae, right? With Devontae, when he was with Aaron Rodgers, okay, they had this type of rapport. Why? Because they had multiple reps together in practice, training camp, offseason games, okay? But, okay, there was a lot of rapport between those two. So Devontae gets played different than any other receiver in the league. They're going to double him. They're going to triple him sometimes. They're going to send exotic coverage packages his way. But the rapport between Aaron Rodgers and Devontae already knew if I throw it here, I can get it there before the double team even comes. And Devontae's such a great athlete, he'll be able to contort his body and get a back shoulder or get something that I'm throwing to him before the double team even arrives. This is something that Jimmy and Devontae have yet to acquire. I mean, I'll even argue to you, Devontae and Derek had that rapport because why? They played together a number of years, right? And they've had a number of reps, even said to the point where they were training in the offseason together when they were on different teams. So that's rapport and rhythm built with each other, right? They know each other like that. Jimmy and Devontae don't know each other like that. I mean, and it goes even less down to the tier when you talk about Brian Hoyer and Devontae. They don't know each other like that, even more down to a tier. Aiden O'Connell Devontae don't know each other like that. They don't have that many. They don't have that much experience. They don't have that many reps together. Now, why do I say this is a huge problem? Because we're already seeing the Raiders' passing game lack something, right? We're seeing it lack something. Immediately, we saw Brian Hoyer. When Brian Hoyer came in, he stretched the field, right, and it was allowing us now to run different type of concepts with the run game and have more things open up underneath. All right, but with Jimmy Garoppolo, he's not really doing that, right? I'd argue to you, he's just not on rhythm. He's not where he needs to be. He has 8 interceptions, 7 touchdowns. That's not winning football at all. Not winning football. You cannot have that from your starting quarterback. Or your starting quarterback cannot be there. Even more so, right? It takes a lot of the rhythm off of the offense as a whole when your starting quarterback is just not in the lineup continuously, right? Just not in the lineup. It takes steam off y'all as an offense. It takes steam off of the receivers trying to catch the ball, even to the play caller, right? Even to Josh McDaniels, right? There are different things that he has to now call with Brian Hoyer that I don't know that he's calling with Jimmy Garoppolo, or just vice versa. Maybe he don't trust Jimmy like that. And maybe it's hard to trust Jimmy like that because you never know when he's not going to be in the lineup. Right now, obviously, I never pray for anybody to get injured. I hope that his recovery is speedy and that he's good. But going forward, it's not going to be a formula for winning football to have your quarterback continuously in and out of the lineup. It's just not. How many playoff teams do y'all know that have a starting quarterback that is consistently in and out? Quarterbacks don't get that luxury like other positions where maybe you're banged up and you get to set out a week. They don't get that luxury. And there's a reason quarterbacks don't get that luxury, because they're the driving engine of that side of the ball. Damn near the team sometimes. So you don't get that luxury to be out a game because it fucks up the entire team. Now, right now, the team is being led by the defense, which is saying something. Like I said, we always spend $60 million. We only spent $60 million on there and $102 million on the offense. So the fact that we're being led by the defense is saying a lot. But, you know, it's going to be hard for the offense to continuously gain some type of rhythm and get better if your starting quarterback is not out there. Now, we can all talk about the fact that we think the Raiders can go on a nice little streak and win some games, right, and then make themselves competitive again. But it's going to be hard to do that if you're continuously flip-flopping your goddamn quarterbacks, right? And this is why I say I think Aiden O'Connell should be the number one option, regardless of what Jimmy is doing. Regardless of it, I think Aiden O'Connell is the number one option. I feel like he has more arm talent. I feel like he'll be more available, right? And I feel like with a couple more weeks under his belt, he will be able to understand this offense. All right. And I know a lot of y'all are scared to play him. What if we lose? What if he doesn't play good? I mean, look at him last week. He had rookie mistakes. You find me a rookie quarterback in his first game that gave you 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, right? They gave you like a Joe Burrow, a Patrick Mahomes performance. Find it for me. A rookie quarterback, his first start. Find it. It's not live, not me. So I would argue to the fact, and like I've continuously said on this channel, he was not fully prepared for that game. Okay, why? Because the coach staff drug their feet the entire week. They drug their feet the entire week and didn't know who the starter was going to be until the day of the game. You can't do that to your rookie, okay? You can't drag your feet and say, oh, we don't know who the starter is going to be, and then the day of the game say, fuck it, we're just going to throw him out here. You're going to need to give him reps throughout the week. Prepare him out the week. Let him get really prepared, right? So he can fuck around and know what he needs to do. But at the end of the day, these are things that I think that the Raiders need to go ahead and think about as we continue, as we do things. These are things that I think the Raiders need to continue and think about as we move forward in the season. So that's why I think that Jimmy Garoppolo is causing a huge problem in this offense too, and that's why we're not seeing a lot of continuity, a lot of rhythm, is because the starting quarterback isn't out there like he should be, right? And just me personally, if it was me, I would throw the young rookie out there, let him do his thing, let him go ahead and get more rhythm and experience, especially next week against the Bears, man. I mean, they might be without Justin Fields. They might have an undrafted rookie quarterback. So what better time? What better time? And I think all of us can allude to the fact we might as well see what he has. Where there's so many good goddamn quarterbacks coming out next year. I want to see if this kid's legit. I don't want him hiding behind Jimmy Garoppolo and Brian Hoyer right throughout the season, like especially next week. You're going to tell me Brian Hoyer is going to start against the Bears? And that's not me saying we're going to lose against the Bears, but it's just like, come on, you don't have no confidence in the kid to win against the Bears. Let's be real. Let's be real. So those are just things that I think we should think about. Remember, this is just one out of 2 videos that I'm going to be releasing. Now, you know I'm going to release my regularly scheduled program at 8 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock Pacific. You know I'm going to release that. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go over the game in its totality. But I think that this is just something that I wanted to touch on about Jimmy Garoppolo, about why I think the offense don't have no rhythm or continuity to it. All right, so y'all let me know down below. What do y'all feel? Right now that you know that Jimmy Garoppolo isn't going to be playing, you going to stick with Brian Hoyer? You going to roll with the rookie? I know we're going to have a mixed bag on this, but go ahead, comment down below, man, and we'll talk about it. But remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss none of these videos. Maybe I'll drop something early on you, or I'll drop on the regularly scheduled program. But at the end of the day, the videos is going to be dropping. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all that. And you know, I keep it authentic for the clouds to the ground on the Raider Rundown.
I need a bad bitch with an accent, serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young Cash App, moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah, shots to the head, ride clean and it's still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids. So who the fuck